All right, so we'll start now. Okay, guys. So we're going to start in child's pose. Knees together, feet together, and then just walk the hands forward. Relax the forehead to the ground. If this is not accessible, hands underneath the forehead. And just close the eyes, relax the shoulders, relax the hips. Couple of breaths here. Try to focus on the exhale. And then on the exhale, let go of any tension and tightness in the body. At the same time, start to draw your attention into the present moment, into your yoga practice, into how you're feeling in your body right now. And then if you have your hands underneath the forehead, then start to walk them forward. If you need any support underneath the forehead, just use your blocks. And start to walk the hands further forward until the elbows and wrists are away from the floor, and you can really walk the fingers to the top of the mat, stretching out the shoulders, your armpits, the legs. At the same time, while you're walking the fingers forward, start to push your hips down towards the heels. And just hold it here. Couple of breaths. And then from here, walk the hands towards the right side. You might have to lift the head and then move a little bit to the right. When you start to feel the stretch on the left side of the body, you push the hips down towards the heels and then relax the head down as well. A couple of breaths here into the area where you feel the stretch the most. And walk the hands back to the center and then walk them towards the left. Again, walking until you can find a stretch on your right side. And then relax the head, release the hips towards your heels. Again, a few breaths, deeply breathing into the right side of the body. And walk the hands back to center. Reach them away from you one more time. And then slowly make your way into tabletop position. Placing the hands underneath the shoulders, separate the fingers, knees under the hips. Couple of cat and cow stretches. When we inhale, we're going to arch, looking up. And then when we are exhaling, we are rounding the back, tucking the chin towards the chest. And then a few more like this. Inhale, arch. And then exhale, round. You can close the eyes as well. If you feel like you would like to move in other way as well, maybe barrel rolling the chest, that's absolutely fine. And then coming back to center. Bring the knees a little bit closer. And then we're going to work with the hips a little bit. Then we're going to take an inhale, lift the toes up towards the sky, arch and look up. And then on the exhale, hug the knee into the chest and round the back. Then inhale, lift the knee, lift the foot, arch and look up. Now on the exhale, bring the knee to the right and look towards the right knee. Then inhale, foot to the sky, arch and look up. And then exhale, hug back in. And then again, inhale, foot, toes up to the sky, arch, look up. Exhale, bring the right knee out, look towards the right. Inhale, back into your arch, foot to the sky, look up. Exhale, hugging back in. One more time, the same. Inhale, foot to the sky, arch and look up. And then exhale, knee out to the right, look towards it. Back to the arch, foot high, look up. And then exhale, hug it in, hold it there for a second. And then release the knee down to the floor. Okay, the same on the other side. So knees together, hands underneath the shoulders, press down through the fingertips. Inhale, lift your toes up to the sky, arch, look up. Exhale, hug the knee into the chest, round the back, pull the shoulder blades up towards the sky. Inhale, lift the foot, arch, look to the ceiling, and then on the exhale, bring the knee out to the side and look towards the knee. Inhale, back into your arch, toes to the sky. Exhale, hug back in. Inhale, toes pointing up high, arch, look up. Exhale, knee to the left, look towards it. Inhale, up, arch. Exhale, hugging in. And then the last one. Inhale, arch, look up. Exhale, knee out. Inhale, arch, look up. Exhale, hug back in. Hold it there for a second. Squeeze the belly, squeeze the ribs into the spine. And then release the knees. Keep your hips up. Well, hips over the knees hip width apart. And then relax the chest down and start to walk the hands towards the top of the mat, releasing the chest bone towards the sky. If you get stuck midway and it's uncomfortable, you can place a pillow underneath your chest. So your fingers are reaching forward. You're allowing your armpits to sink down towards the mat. You can keep your chin or forehead to the ground. And then on each exhalation, let go a little bit more of your chest, of your armpits. Bump to the sky, chest towards the floor. Make sure that the head is heavy so the neck doesn't need to work at all. Then press down through the forearms and slowly slide forward, lying on your belly. Place the hands underneath the forehead and just rest here for a couple of breaths, maybe even shaking out the bum. Bring the hands a little bit wider than the shoulders, a little bit more forward than your shoulders are. Press down through the tops of the feet, press down through the pubic bone. Then on the next inhale, come halfway up into an easy cobra. Roll the shoulders down, elbows in, up the chest towards the front. And then exhale, fold back down. Keep the legs active throughout this. One more. Inhale, press the hands into the floor, come halfway up, shoulders down, elbows in. And then on the exhale, slowly lower down. We're going to add something to this now. Inhale, coming halfway up. And then on the exhale, lift the hands and bring the shoulder blades towards one another. Then place the hands to the floor, big breath in. And then exhale, fall back down to the ground. 2 more. Inhale, slowly lift, legs and glutes active. Exhale, lift the hands and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, place the hands to the floor. And then exhale, release the chest, forehead to the ground. Last one. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, lift the hands, bring the shoulder blades together. Inhale, hands to the floor. And then exhale, release the head. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, press down. And on the next inhale, come into your cobra pose. Maybe a little bit higher than last time. Shoulders down, elbows in. Child's pose, sitting back onto your heels, relaxing the forehead. Then from here, back into your tabletop. Spread the fingers wide. Curl the toes under. Downward facing dog. Take a moment in your down dog to just move it out, moving the hips, the head, maybe shaking, nodding, swaying the heels as well. And then from here, very slowly walk the feet to the top of the mat, arriving in a forward bend. Keep the knees soft. Place opposite hand onto opposite elbow, release the head, then gently swaying from side to side. Keep the knees bent, release the arms, interlace the fingers behind you, stretching the arms up towards the sky. And then try to stretch it towards the top of the mat with your head heavy. Now keep the left knee bent, straighten the right knee and turn the chest to the right, reaching the arms to the left. A little stretch around the hips, around the back of the thigh, right side. And then back to center, other side, left knee straightens, arms towards the right, chest to the left, heavy head. Releasing to center, and then let go of the arms. Make the head heavy, very slowly rise, coming up, inch by inch, vertebrae by vertebrae. Oh, excellent. And then we are at the top of the mat. So we're going to do a couple of sun salutations, and we're going to move into a sequence where we focus more on the legs. Hands into prayer, roll the shoulders down. Suck the belly in. On the next inhale, raise the arms, look up. And then on the exhale, fold forward, soften the knees, relax the head. Inhale for your halfway lift, long straight spine. Hands to the floor, step the right knee back into low lunge. And then on the next inhale, raise the arms to the sky, look up. Then hands to the floor, step back into tabletop, and make your way into downward facing dog. So for the first one, we're going to do it nice and slowly. Take your time. Press the heels towards the floor. Reach your armpits towards the knees, the bum to the sky. Then inhale, come into a high plank pose. Shoulders over the wrists, squeezing the belly, lifting the ribs, lifting the shoulder blades. Drop the knees, very slowly lower down to the floor. Hips and chest arrive at the same time. Inhale for your cobra pose, child's pose. Then downward facing dog. On the next inhale, reach your right leg back. And then slowly step it to the front. Drop the back knee down to the ground. Raise your arms, look up, maybe a little arch. Then hands to the floor. Step forward, forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fall down. Inhale and rise, look up, arch back. And hands into namaste. Left side, nice and slowly again. Inhale, arms to the sky, look up, arch. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step the left knee back into low lunge. Then raise the arms, maybe a little arch again, look up. Hands to the floor, downward facing dog. You can hold it here for a second, set up your hands, your feet, and even though your heels are not touching the floor, you can push down while you're reaching the bum up and your armpits towards the knees, heavy head. Inhale for high plank. Squeeze. Drop the knees, lower down to the floor. Inhale, cobra pose, elbows in, shoulders down. Downward facing dog. Lifting your left leg back and up. And then slowly stepping the foot between the hands. Place the back knee down to the ground. Raise the arms, look up, arch back. Hands to the floor. Step forward, forward bend. Inhale, flat back. Let it all go. Inhale and rise, look up, arch. Hands into namaste. And we go again. Inhale, arms to the sky, arch back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step your right knee back into a low lunge. Lift your arms, look up. Downward facing dog. On the next inhale, high plank. Exhale, drop the knees, lower down to the ground. Inhale, cobra pose. Downward facing dog, but of course you can rest in child's pose if you like. Inhale, raise the right leg high. Exhale, step it to the front. Back knee down, arms high, look up, maybe a mini back bend. Hands to the floor, step forward, forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Fall down. Inhale and rise. Hands into Namaste. And then the left side. Inhale, arms to the sky. Arch, look back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step your left knee back, low lunge. Arms rise, look up, back bend. Downward facing dog, big breath out. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra. Downward facing dog. Left leg reaches high, breath in. Step it to the front, breath out. Raise your arms, inhale, look back. Hands to the floor, step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Let it go. Inhale to rise. Hands into Namaste. And just a big breath in and out. We continue with a modified, a different variation of sun salutation B. We bring the feet together, release the arms, shoulders down. Then on the next inhale, raise the arms to the sky and bend the knees into chair pose, Utkatasana. You can draw the shins and the knees back until you can see the toes. Reach the arms towards the sky. Gently squeeze the belly and turn the tailbone down so there's not too much arch collapsing going on in the lower back. Take another inhale, look up, and then exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the floor, step back into high plank. Hold it here, take a big breath in, and then on the exhale, lower down, or you can come into Chaturanga. Inhale for cobra pose or upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Bring the feet together, raise your right leg to the sky, and then on the exhale, step it to the front. We're gonna come into crescent lunge. So set up the feet, nice wide stance, bend the front knee, press down through the feet. With your inner thighs, you're trying to pull towards one another, and then inhale and rise. Bring the arms high, take another breath. Maybe for buoyancy and more balance, you can bend the back knee. And then twist towards your right. Bring the right arm behind you and the left arm forward. Chest facing to the right. Spread the palms, spread the fingers. Inhale back into center. And then exhale, open up, warrior two. Back heel down, front foot. The toes facing to 12 o'clock, shoulders down. Flip the front palm, reverse the warrior, hold it here. Your left hand gently touching the thigh. Bend the front knee a little bit more, reach high through the fingers, and then reach back to find this nice juicy stretch on the right side of the body. One more breath. Then cartwheel the arms, hands to the floor. Step back into high plank. Lower down or Chaturanga. Inhale for cobra. Maybe an up dog. And then downward facing dog. Take a breath in, and the breath out. Other side, left leg to the sky, inhale. And then slowly stepping it to the front on the exhale. Again, setting up your crescent lunge. Feet wide, bend the front knee, push the back heel away. And then start to hug the two inner thighs towards one another. Then inhale and rise. Maybe you're wobbling, that's fine. You can also soften the back knee. Reach high through the fingers for another breath. And then open to the left side. Right arm forward, left behind you, chest pointing to your left. Inhale back to center. And then open up, warrior two. Back heel down. So your right toes are facing towards 3 o'clock. Front toes 12 o'clock. Nice open heart. Turn the front palm, inhale and reverse. Reach the fingers high and then reach back. Right hand just gently touching the thigh or the calf. Breathe into the left side of the body, one more. And then cartwheel the arms, hands to the floor. Step back, high plank. Maybe dropping the knees, lower down. Inhale, cobra pose. downward facing dog. And a few breaths, maybe opening the mouth and then breathing through it. Maybe sigh or moan. It's a very hot day, so we've just created even more heat. Let go of it. If it doesn't feel right, then look to the front. Walk the feet between the hands. Inhale for halfway lift. Shoulders down. Exhale to release. Inhale and rise. Look up. Palms touch. Hands into Namaste. And then we go one more time. Exactly the same. Feet together. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Bend the knees, chair pose. Push the knees back, shins back. Look at the toes, look up. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands down, walk yourself into a high plank pose. Take another inhale. Exhale, lower down or chaturanga. Inhale for cobra or abdo. Shoulders back, chest to the front. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up, big breath in. Step it to the front, breath out. Raise the arms, inhale, and then exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. And then open up, warrior two, 2 feet in one line. Turn the front palm. Inhale and reverse. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, high plank. Lower down. Make your way into cobra or upward facing dog. We'll meet in downward facing dog. And then the left side. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Slowly step it to the front, crescent lunge. Inhale and rise, look up. And then twist to the left. Inhale back to center. Open warrior two. Turn the front palm, reverse and inhale. Hands to the floor, stepping back, high push up. Lower down. Up dog or cobra on the inhale. Down dog on the exhale. Take a big breath in. And open the mouth side out. Oh. Inhale again. And moan it out. Oh. And then walk the feet to the top of the mat. Inhale for halfway lift. Exhale and let go. Inhale and rise, palms touch, look up. Hands into prayer. Just stay there at the top of the mat, couple of breaths. Letting go of the shoulders. A couple of big breaths to let go of any still air. Letting go of extra heat. Allowing the breath to become calm again. Nice and slow. Excellent. And then I am just going to turn around so I have space right next to me, and you can do the same as well. So we're going to do mostly standing poses, and we're not going to do any more vinyasa. So it's still going to be quite strengthening because we are working on the legs, but it's going to look after your shoulders more. So starting in Tadasana, feet together, mountain pose, shoulders down, gently tilting the tailbone under, squeezing the belly, squeezing the ribs in, nice long spine. And then bring the hands against the lower back, sacrum area. I just turn around so you can see me. Bring the elbows together, squeeze the belly. And then for a back bend, push the hips forward, lift your ribs away from the hips. And then arch back while you're pushing the hips gently forward and drawing the elbows and shoulder blades together. With the edges of your paws, you're brushing the sacrum down while you're lifting the chest bone and lifting the ribs high. So we are trying to create a little bit longer lower back. And want to focus on the mid back, in between the shoulder blades, where you're not so archy. And then slowly come back up. Keeping the feet hip width apart. Bring your right arm to the sky, left hand comes onto the side. Take a big breath in, reach up, and then on the exhale, side bend, leaning towards your left, looking under the right armpit, making sure that the shoulders are stacking over one another. Reach the fingers away, find your stretch. And then slowly come up, other side. Left arm up, palm facing to the right. Reach high, creating the length in the side of the body, and then on the exhale, start to lean. Fingers reach away, looking under the left armpit. Keep the chest open, shoulders stacking. One more breath. And then slowly come back up. Relax the shoulders, you can move them a couple of times. I'm going to walk the feet a little bit wider. Toes slightly turning out, depending on what feels good for your ankles and your hips. And then take the arms to the sky, breath in. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to chest. Inhale, arms to the sky, look up. And then exhale, slowly lowering down into a goddess pose. Few more, inhale. And then exhale. In breath. Out breath. One more, inhale. And then exhale, and we hold it here. So the knees turn out, you're tucking the tailbone, try not to hunch forward. And then bring the arms out, palms facing down. On the inhale, we bring the palms up towards the sky and lift the right heel away from the ground. And then exhale, palms down, heels down. Inhale, palms up, left heel high. Exhale, palms down, feet to the ground. Inhale, right heel up. Exhale, everything lowers. Inhale, left heel up. Exhale, palms heel down. Inhale, palms up, right heel up. And then back to the floor. Inhale, left, palms high. And then exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands into prayer. Woo. And then inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, lower down with the hips, with the hands into namaste. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, lowering down. One more. Inhale, high. And then exhale, lower down. Bring your hands onto the sides, just above the knees, but you don't want to start touching the knee joint. And then open the knees wide. Keep your left elbow straight. And then draw the left shoulder into the center of the body and bring the knee out as much as you can. Then the other side. Bring your right shoulder towards the center line and push the right knee away while you're looking towards the left. Few more. Left knee, left elbow bend, straighten, sorry. Left shoulder comes to the center and we're looking towards the right. And then one more to the other side. Back to center. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands into prayer, knees straight. And then one more. I can already feel it in my thighs. They're really firing up. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, bend the knees, chest to the hands into the chest. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, lowering down. Last one. Inhale, high. And then exhale, lower down. Now place your right forearm onto the side. Again, draw the knee up. Lift your left arm high. Open wide. Back to center. Other side. Left forearm to the side. Right arm high. Look up. Twist. Back to center. One more. Right elbow to the side. Look up. Left arm back. Back to center. Left side. Reach up. And then back to center. And then rise. Whew. Oh God. Okay, so we're going to turn the left heel a little bit out until the outer edge of the foot is parallel to the back of the mat. And we're going to turn the right toes towards 12 o'clock. So this is like a warrior two stance with the 2 feet together, front heel, back arch together, chest and hips facing to the side. Reach the arms away from you, triangle pose. Gently reach the hips back and then start to lean forward until your fingers can't reach anymore to the front. Then place the right hand onto the shin, lift your left arm to the sky. Tuck the ribs in and tuck the tailbone under, looking up to the sky or looking down. Or you can also let go of the head. You're activating the thighs and squeezing them up towards the hip bone. You don't necessarily have to touch the ankle. You can keep the hand on the shin, but make sure that it's not on the knee and you're not collapsing into it. Look up. Take another breath. And then soften the front knee, slowly come back. And this time into warrior two. Side angle lunge. Place your right forearm onto the thigh and lift your left arm to the sky. Now the front knee is over the ankle and gently pulling towards the pinky toe. Press down through the outer edge of the back foot and lift the inner arch away from the floor. You can keep the left arm to the sky or bring the arm behind you and then placing either onto the right thigh or taking hold of your leggings, tracksuit bottom shorts on the right side. This is to open that left shoulder a little bit more. And then you can hold it here. Or if you're with me, we're gonna push it again. We're gonna extend the left arm to the right arm to the front with palm facing up. For 3, squeeze the glutes, 2, 1 more. Excellent. Place the hands on either side of that right foot and drop the back knee down to the ground. I've been waiting for this. Okay, so fingers on the floor, or you can use blocks. We're going to move here a little bit, working on the back side and also working on the front side at the same time. The nice open chest, allow the hips to lean forward, shoulders back, inhale, and then exhale, push the hips back into half splits and release the chest towards the thigh. Your chest doesn't need to touch the thigh as long as you feel the stretch, you're in the right position. Then inhale, roll the shoulders back, push the hips forward, nice open heart. Exhale, leaning back into half splits. Couple of this with the breath. Inhale, moving forward, nice low lunge, focusing on the thighs. And then exhale, pushing back of the thigh, hamstrings, and a little stretch. Inhale to the front. Exhale, leaning back. 2 more. Inhale to the front. Exhale, leaning back. And then inhale to the front and hold it here. So walk the right foot just a tiny bit out. And you can keep your left hand on the left block, on the block on the left side. Then take an inhale, reach your right arm back and bend the back knee. You're reaching towards them, towards the toes. And then on the exhale, bring the arm back to the front and place the back foot to the ground. Few more of this. Inhale, arm back, foot towards the fingers. And then exhale, foot to the floor, hand in front of you. 2 more. Inhale. And then exhale. Last one. Inhale. And you can stay here. You can also take hold of the foot, or you can take hold of the bottom of your leggings. Maybe there is a strap. Roll the right shoulder back, look back. Gently hug the heel towards the buttock. Take another breath. And then release. Bring the hands on either side of the front foot. Curl the back toes under. Lift the back knee away from the floor. Left hand stays on the ground. Bring the right arm to the sky for your twist. Look up. Reach the arm behind you. Then both hands to the floor. And step your left foot a little bit further back for pyramid pose. So you might need blocks for this one, nice floor blocks. Your hips are pointing towards the front toes, but actually, for me, all 10 toes are pointing forward. You can keep some space in between the feet, like you would be standing on railway tracks. So your hips are level, and your hips are pointing to the front of the mat. You take an inhale and elongate through the spine, just like in a halfway lift. On the exhalation, with a straight spine, start to release the chest towards the knee. If you're using blocks, you hold it there. If you want to let go of them, that's absolutely fine as well. And for arms, you can keep your hands underneath the shoulders. You can also walk the hands or the blocks forward. And while your hips are reaching back, you're reaching the fingers and the blocks to the top of the mat. Or you can bring the fingers. I think this one only works if you have the fingers on the floor. This variation, so fingers walk back and you're reaching the chest bone forward. Holding it here. You can always let go of the neck, so the back of the neck is relaxed. And then back up. And then we take a twist. Take the block again, place it under the left hand. I like to create a little bit more space between the 2 feet. Your neck, the spine is long. Hand underneath your shoulder. And then press down through the feet and lift your right arm to the sky. So reverse triangle. Pull the right hip back. You might feel a deep stretch around that right hip. Look up. Lift your fingers a little bit. Press down through both heels, even if the back heel doesn't touch the floor. And then slowly release. Excellent. Let go of the bricks. And then move the fingers back to center with your toes facing again to the side. Relax the head, relax the chest. Nice straddle. Maybe you want to sway from side to side. Give a little shake to the head as well. Excellent. And from here, we start to walk the feet wider and wider. So coming into the widest, the deepest straddle that you can get into. And then from here, as gracefully as you can, you're going to sit back onto your bum. Now trying to sit upright and tall. And if that doesn't happen, maybe you want to bend the knees a little bit. If it still feels that you need to hunch, you can place a block or maybe a cushion underneath your buttocks. Then you're going to bring your chest towards the right foot, hands on either side of the right leg. Take a big breath in, and then on the exhale, start to walk the hands towards the foot while your chest releases towards the side. Don't worry about straight spine. You can just relax, maybe even rounding, releasing the head. Now try to bring some attention into the feet and start to flex. So push the ball of the feet away from you while the toes are curling towards the ankles. And slowly lift up. Bring your right arm either on the right leg or the inside of the right leg. You can also lift your calf and place the hand underneath the calf. Then roll the left shoulder back until it's stacking over the right. Bring the right arm to the sky, reach, and then on the exhale, lean towards the right. Look under the armpit. Maybe with your elbow, you're pushing to the inner thigh, just to use it as leverage to open a little bit more and then reach through the fingers a little bit more. You don't need to touch the toes, you're just reaching towards that area. And then head. Well, you can use the head as an extension of the spine, or you can just relax. And then slowly come back up. Hands in front of you. We're going to start to walk the hands away from us as far as we can while you're relaxing the head and your shoulders. Again, don't worry where you are, whether you're still seated or whether your chest is right on the floor. It doesn't matter what the posture looks like. We are focusing on what it feels like. If you feel the stretch in the back of the legs and the inner thighs, you're doing the right thing. You don't want to do too much. You don't want to do too little. You want to be at that level where you feel the pose, but it doesn't overwhelm you. Slowly walk the hands back to you. Sit up. Turn the chest towards the left. Hands on either side of the left leg, and then start to walk them away from you. Allowing your chest to release towards the thigh. Again, remember, towards, not on it. It's not lying on it. Maybe it's never going to happen, and it's absolutely fine. Just make sure that you get a nice stretch in the back of the body. Let go of the head. And even if you cannot feel anything in the pose, just relaxing, just folding down is a really nice, just a moment to just relax. Not worry about anything. We've been pushing ourselves and we're going to push ourselves a little bit more, so don't worry. There will be more sweat coming. And come back up, the side stretch. Left arm either onto the left leg or to the inside, maybe hand underneath the calf. Press down to the calf if your hand is there. And then roll the right shoulder back, gently pulling the shoulder blades towards one another. Lift your right arm, palm facing towards the left. Inhale, up. And then exhale, leaning towards the left. Look under the left armpit. And then reach a little bit more. Press down through the sit bones and just enjoy that stretch. Again, with the head, whatever is comfortable. I like to just let it go. Then slowly come back up. And then bring the hands underneath the knees. Lift them up. Feet flat on the ground. And just windscreen right from side to side a couple of times. Oh, this feels very, very nice now. Ooh. And then from here, we're going to come back up onto our feet, again, as gracefully as we can. Arriving in our forward bend. Make your way back onto the mat if you ended up off it, like myself. Relax the head. Place the hands onto the hips. Soften the knees, and then very slowly roll yourself up. Oh, excellent. Okay, so we have the left side to do now. So your right foot, the outer edge of the right foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Now this time the left toes turn out, like it was 12 o'clock. And then keep the knees straight for triangle pose. Extend your arms away from you. The feet are just like in warrior 2. Then push your hips towards the right side and reach through the left fingertips. Once you cannot reach any longer or anymore, place the left hand onto the left shin, maybe on the ankle, maybe on a tall block. Be creative. And then reach up through the right fingertips. So you're squeezing the belly, squeezing the ribs in, you're tucking the tailbone under, and you're squeezing the thighs as well. This is actually all happening here in the center of the body, the powerhouse of our body. Looking up. Squeeze the thighs a little bit more. And then slowly come up, soften the front knee while you're coming up. Warrior 2, side angle lunge. Placing the left forearm onto the ground, onto the thigh. Your knees right over the ankle. Reach the arm to the sky. You're very welcome to stay here. Otherwise, bind, because we did on the other side as well. Try to reach your hand towards the left side. If it doesn't happen, take hold of your shorts, maybe the leggings, and then reach the right shoulder back. Press down through the feet, really squeeze the thighs, and hold it here, or extend the left arm forward with palm facing up, like you're expecting something from above to fall into your hand. One more breath. And then hands on either side of the front foot, and drop the right knee down to the ground. Excellent. Once again, you can use blocks here. We're just going to move. I'm just going to, with the fingertips on the floor, just a little extension in my arms. So reach the hips forward, roll the shoulders back, open chest, and then on the exhale, push back, half splits. Front knees as straight as you can get. It doesn't really matter as long as you get the stretch in the back of the spine. Then inhale, slowly flow back to the front, shoulders back, open heart. And then exhale, pushing back. Couple of this with the breath. Inhale to the front. Exhale behind you. Inhale to the front, shoulders down, shoulder blades together. Exhaling back. That's one more. Inhale to the front. Exhale to the back. And then inhale to the front. Keep your right hand on the floor. You can walk the left foot a little bit out. Then take an inhale, reach your left arm back, bend the left knee, reach towards the toes, toes towards the fingers, and then exhale, coming back to center, back foot down. 2 more. Inhale back. Exhale to the floor. Inhale back, and we hold it here. Maybe like this. Maybe you can take hold of the foot, or maybe you can grab hold of your leggings. Roll the left shoulder back. Gently pull the heel towards the bum. Maybe looking back. One more breath. And then slowly release the foot. Hands to the floor, framing the front foot. This time, curl the back toes under. Lift the back knee away from the floor. Right hand stays on the ground. Lift your left arm to the sky for your twist. And then place hands to the floor. Step the right foot a little bit more forward. Drop the back heel down to the ground. Pyramid pose. Always remind yourself that the blocks are there to extend your arms. But first, make sure there is a little space between the heels. Maybe standing like railway tracks. Pull the right hip forward, left back. Both sides of the hips pointing to the front. Take an inhale, lengthen through the spine. And then on the exhale, folding down. Wherever you feel the stretch, you stop there. Maybe the back heel is not on the ground, and that's absolutely fine. Push down. There is this line of energy through the heel, down to the ground. You can keep the hands underneath the shoulders. You can walk the hands forward as well. Or you can walk the hands back, and while your fingers reach back, your chest bone reaches forward. Reverse triangle. Right hand onto the floor, maybe on a block. I like to again take the feet a little bit wider. Make sure that you don't change the hip position. So right hip pulls forward, left hip back, and then take your left arm to the sky. So your chest is facing to the left, toes pointing to the front. Look up, reach a little bit more. And then both hands down. And then walk the hands back to the side. Toes facing again towards the side of the mat. Relax the head. And then from here, bring the feet a little bit closer to each other. And slowly roll yourself up. Oh, excellent. Step to the top of the mat. On the next inhale, raise the arms to the sky, look up. And then exhale, fold forward. Soft knees, lower down. Bring the hands onto the floor. Walk yourself back into a high plank pose. Hands underneath the shoulders, squeezing the belly, squeezing the thighs. Drop the knees, slowly lower down to the ground. Reach your arms behind you, locust pose, press down through the pubic bone, straighten the knees, squeeze the thighs, and on the next inhale, rise. Shoulders, chest, arms, thighs away from the ground, look to the top of the mat. Point the toes, one more breath, and release. We're going to quickly turn around onto our back, just to do 2 more back bends. So the variations, you can do 2 bridges, you can do 2 wheels, you can do a bridge and a wheel. I will be doing a bridge and then I will be doing a wheel. And you can choose to come into a passive supported bridge where you have the blocks underneath the sacrum. It's your choice. But otherwise, if you want to give a little more push, just a little bit more challenging yourself, then feet hip width apart, heels close to the buttocks, arms beside you, palms facing down. You press down and then you start to lift your butt and the spine away from the ground. Keep your shoulders pushing down. Now squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs, and lift your hips a little bit higher. You can hold it here or bring the shoulders underneath the body. Maybe you can interlace the fingers as well. Press down through the shoulders, through the arms.
Keep the feet rooted, squeeze the thighs and the glutes, and lift a little bit higher. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the arms. And then inch by inch, releasing the spine to the floor. Bring the feet wide. Drop the knees together. Just a couple of breaths. So not switching off now, because we have to have a think about what we're going to do for the second round. Like I said, sticking with bridge. You can also stick with this pose. This is quite nice actually. Or you can come into a wheel pose. So for wheel, hips just like feet, just like your bridge pose, hip width apart and pressing down. Now this time hands right beside your head. Now if you're a first time wheeler, then it is important that when you come up and you don't feel the strength in your arm to lift your head away from the floor, that's fine. You can stay on the top of the mat. But if you're there, don't allow too much weight to come into the head. So you're still pushing down with your hands. You're still pushing down with your hands and mostly bearing the weight of the body with your hands. If that doesn't happen, you come down straight away and go into bridge. That just means that your body is just not ready yet. So hands beside the head. You press down through the hands, press down through the feet, come onto the top of the head, press down even more, and then lift yourself up. Your chest pushes away from you towards your hands. And your feet stay on the floor. You relax the head, and we hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, tuck the chin to the chest, arriving at the back of the neck, upper back, mid back, lower back. Keep the feet wide, knock the knees together, and then maybe one hand on the belly, other one on the heart. Hold it there. Couple of breaths. So these heart openers, these back bends are very, very powerful. Every time you do it, you will feel that suddenly your blood pressure goes up. You really feel the energy, feel the heat. Always give yourself, even a minute to just cool down, calm down. And while you're there, just notice what happened in the body. And suddenly feel your heart pumping. Feel the energy. Feel the heat, the blood. And then keep the knees wide. Feet wide. Slowly drop the knees to the left side. Your chest is still pointing up. You can bring the arms beside you, wide or cactus arms. Staying here, or you can place the left ankle onto the right thigh, just to give a little bit more weight to that left leg, and the knee can come closer to the floor. This is something I love doing after a back bend. It stretches out my lower back. I'm not very bendy, so when I'm compressing, I can feel it. It's not painful, but I can feel it. Afterwards, good stretch, puts everything back in place. And release the ankle from the knee. Knees pointing skywards again. Drop the knees to the right side this time. And then if you like this variation, then place the ankle onto the thigh. Feet back to the ground. Happy baby pose. Hug the knees first towards the armpits. And you can keep your hands on the shins and then gently guiding the knees towards the armpits. Back of the shoulders down to the ground. Maybe this is somewhere where you like to be, so stay there. Otherwise, you can bring the feet right over the knees and take hold of the soft soles of the feet. It's either from the inside or the outside, doesn't really matter. And then with the hands, you're gonna start to guide the knee and ankle down towards the armpits. Again, shoulders relax back to the ground, back of the neck is comfortable. If you're gonna lift it, if you have this tendency, oh, I need to lift my head, just place a pillow underneath and then push the knees down and at the same time guide the tailbone down towards the floor as well. So two things that happen here. One is that it's really nice after a back bend again because it's just a little bit curving the lower back. So counteracting what we did in the back bends. But on the other hand, you also get a nice little groin and inner thigh stretch by pulling the knees down towards the armpits. And let go of the legs. Extend them to the back of the mat. Give some space between the feet. You can shake it out a little bit as well. Bring the arms beside the body, palms facing up. If you have the space, just spread out like a starfish. Then take a big breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, side out at the same time, close the eyes. So a couple of minutes to rest here. And while you're resting on the floor, make sure that you are warm enough, comfortable enough. And then start to relax. Very slowly start to make movements with your fingers and the toes. Roll the head from side to side. Roll your wrists, your ankles. Start to reawaken the body with the shoulders a little bit. Hug the knees into the chest. Roll over to one side. Hold it there for a moment. And then slowly come up. Take a comfortable seated pose, sitting upright and tall with your hands in prayer.
Keep the eyes closed. We take one last breath together. Inhale. And exhale, let it go. The thumb knuckles into the forehead center. And together we say, Namaste. Thank you very much. I hope you had a good class. And I'll see you here next Monday again. Let me just turn this.
Thanks, Eva.
I can't see any of you for some reason.
Can you hear me?
Let me just. Yes, I can see you now because I was in the full whatever. Hi, hello, hello, hello.
Thanks, Eva. Great class.
Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a lovely week. It's going to be very hot.
Yeah, good.
I'll see you next month, you guys. Bye-bye. Namaste.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Good morning.